In this video, I want to talk about some things that might happen when you're on your journey of personal growth with the relationships around you, and some things to look out for. When you are on an intense journey of self-improvement, there's one of two things that you could possibly see in the people around you. Either they'll begin to fade away, or they'll subconsciously kind of try to keep you in this little perimeter that they have in their mind of their perceptions of you. So now I believe the reason people start to fade away naturally when you're on this journey of growth is because people have a preconceived notion of you. They already have their idea of who you are and what you are. And when you start to grow, you're changing, which is subconsciously making these people almost like not recognize you, unrecognizable to these people, which is going to cause them to kind of like stand back because there's an unfamiliarity there. So what you'll begin to notice is like people that you were friends with or acquaintances with that you were comfortable with, over time your conversations and your interactions can feel like almost like this person's a stranger, and you can get a sense of discomfort from them because subconsciously the brain is not really recognizing. They recognize the face, they recognize the body, but they don't recognize the words and the paradigms that are coming out of what they see in front of them. So there's like a weird, uncomfortable barrier that gets created, and this can cause people to fade away. And I mean, that's the tale as old as time when you know you're interested in self-transformation. I mean, you hear about it in rap music, you hear about it in self-help books. It's always like when you're trying to do good for yourself, when you're trying to make it to the top, you're going to lose fucking people. And that's the truth. But that isn't always a bad thing. That's just, I feel like life is cyclical. It's ever changing. You're not going to have just these constants. You might get one or two people that you are constant with throughout your whole life, but that's really rare. Even people that you might be friends with till you're old, it goes in waves. You're very close with them, then you guys go your separate ways, and you come back together close, go your separate ways. But I think when you're really trying to be the best person you could possibly be, and you're completely changing the way you think, and everything you're doing is with great intention, and the other person or the other people aren't doing that, it's going to cause a little bit of a drift between you and either that person or those people. That's just natural. Now, another potential action that a person might do is, whether they're consciously doing it or not, they're going to act around you, talk to you in a way that they're trying to keep you in the parameters of their perception. Now, this is where it gets pretty dangerous and inhibiting your ability to change, because if your change is so drastic and so intense that it's hard to even stay consistent yourself, it's going to be significantly harder if you have somebody that's actively trying to stop you from that change. It's a concept that I read about in the book Thinking Fast and Slow. It's called the sunk cost theory. Basically, the sunk cost theory is you've invested so much time, money, energy into something that you kind of just rock with it, even if you know it's sinking, right? It's kind of like a captain going down with his ship. But there's a little more honor to that. But it's like, I don't want to admit I'm wrong. Now let's take sunk costs, make it applicable to our paradigms and our psychology. You've spent your whole life with you. You spent your whole life with what's up here. You've invested so much time and energy into it. So it's very easy to just keep rocking with it. Why would I make this big drastic change at this point in my life? So being around those people will even just stack on top of that, making the resistance even stronger in stopping you from making that change. So if you're really serious about completely changing the way you think and the way you live and trying to become the best version of yourself, you need to accept that there's going to be nights that you spend alone, or that you're going to drift away from people because, like I stated before, the resistance to change is already so strong because of sunk cost. Now, if you add on top of that a person or people that are actively trying to suppress that, it's very easy to slip back into the lifestyle that you are trying to escape. So you need to get comfortable with alone time, or you need to get comfortable with being able to not be around the people that you're so comfortable with as much anymore. And maybe have to start looking for new people that fit your goals. This isn't necessarily something malicious that people do. It's just a thing that humans are really adverse to change. They like constants. They don't like a changing world around them. So when they see the people that they've known and that they're comfortable with start to change, that instinctually makes them uncomfortable. And like I said before, whether it's subconscious or consciously, they're going to make little remarks. They're going to do actions. They're going to say, you want to stop drinking. I'm going to cut back on the drinking. I don't feel so good anymore. And I really want to give this a try. Those people might still, come on, man, come out. Or you say, I'm eating clean. I'm done eating shitty. Those people might think they're doing something good. Like, hey, I brought you a donut. And it's like, oh, thank you. But you just brought that temptation into my world. Or if you express a big dream of yours, they might tell you it's impossible, or they might go, well, you really think you could do that? And they're instilling a little bit of self-doubt in you to keep you where you're at, because they don't want to see you change, because change is uncomfortable for people. There's a quote, I'm not necessarily sure who said it, but it was, the fastest way to kill a big dream is to tell it to a small mind. And I fucking love that quote. I was listening to the Chris William podcast a couple weeks ago, and he was talking about how when you're choosing this growth, when you're growing, there's this weird medium area that I really enjoyed this concept. You're outgrowing the friends that you have or the peers that you have, but you haven't yet grown into that next level of people. So you're stuck in this middle where you don't really know who to talk to or what to do. And I thought that concept was pretty profound. I thought it was unique. I never really thought about it that way. So my advice to you, if you're serious about changing your life and changing the way you think and act, you seriously need to take in consideration what it's going to take, and you need to come to terms with, when you're done with your growing phase, which I don't think should technically ever end, you should constantly be striving for growth, but that serious, double down, let's grow. That at the end of that, there might be some people gone, and that's something you got to accept. You guys know the drill. I will talk to you tomorrow. Peace.